Hello, and welcome back to the studio. I'm Dr. Wiggo, and today I have the dBrand KillSwitch for the Switch 2. It's a case, but it's more than a case, and there's a story that goes with it. If you're new, there's always a story. But before we get to that, I want to do a little public service announcement. One of the greatest games of all time is coming out for the Switch and the PS5 and Steam on September 19th. Trails in the Sky First Chapter. Now, I've covered the Trails games in several videos that I'll link down below. The main video where I kind of went through the whole series is this one up here, but they'll all be linked down below. Trails of Cold Steel and Trails into Reverie and Trails through Daybreak and Trails through Daybreak 2. There's a lot. But Trails in the Sky First Chapter is the first one, the original. And in this video here, I said one of the problems with the Trails series is you really need to start at the beginning, but you couldn't because it either wasn't available or it wasn't available in English or it was only available on PC. There were a lot of reasons you couldn't start with the first one. Eventually you could, but it was still not the best experience. Well, not anymore. They have remastered and redone it. It's a whole remake. It's not just upscaled. They've completely gone away from the 2D overhead view to 3D live action, just like all the later Trails games. And they've taken the combat upgrades from Trails through Daybreak, the most recent games, and they put that into there. So it's just amazing. The demo is out now. You can go download it on the Switch or the PS5 or Steam. I think the demo's on Steam. It should be. And it's the whole prologue, the whole first section of the game, so you can get a really good idea of whether you'll like it or not, and not pay a penny. But if you do like it, and I think you will, because I think it's one of the greatest game series ever made, on September 19th, you can buy it. So with that out of the way, let's get into the KillSwitch. For my original Switch, I had a case, which I should have brought up here to show you, but it was just a travel case where you'd put it in and zip it up and take it with you. Well, this is all that and more. It's a travel case, it's a cover. Well, you're about to see. Really amazing thing. And I ordered it as soon as the Switch 2 came out, but they didn't ship until like a month later. And then I didn't get around to it right away, which was good because there were problems. There were several problems, which we'll talk about, but they've since done an update for free. They shipped me this little package, which I just got recently, which fixes the problems with the original configuration. And we'll look at all this in just a minute. But first, let's talk about the KillSwitch itself. I bought the Ultra Edition. So it comes with purchased, delivered, installed, and they have a website you can go to if you can't figure it out. And they threw in a little for your JoyCons. Yeah, I'm probably not going to put that on. And then there's a little card about Prism 2.0. Oh, Prism 2.0 is a screen protector. It's not technically part of the KillSwitch, but you can order it together in the Ultra package. I'll list the prices. There's like 3 sets of prices. I think this is the little cloth I'm going to need to clean. Read this before opening. Well, let's print it real small and orange on a black background so it's hard to read so old people can't see what it says. Unlike virtually all other modern tech hardware, the Switch 2 display is not covered in glass. Instead, it is covered in a pre-installed non-removable anti-shatter film that is made of soft plastic. Unfortunately, this soft plastic makes your Switch 2 screen extremely susceptible to scratches. You may have seen headlines like receipts stapled to Switch 2 boxes are damaging the screen. I actually did see those, or Reddit threads. What you can do is ensure you're dust-free. Scan the QR code to watch the video. I watched the video. Clean your screen with the cleaning kit. Well, let's go ahead and put on the Prism. I can read instructions. I can't read instructions, and you do a QR code, and I guess it takes you to the video. But the I can read instructions says turn off your Switch 2 and detach the Joy-Cons. This shows you how much. Oh, that's right. It's these little buttons. There we go. I haven't taken it off the stand since I got it. I play all my games on my big screen TV. So, okay, we take that off. What's the next step? Wait, it says there's an alcohol wipe. Oh, here's the cleaning kit. I'm sorry. Oh, there's all sorts of little stuff in here. There's a little squeegee. These must be the alcohol wipes. They give you 4. So I guess they don't trust you to do it right the first time, so they give you 4 of these. By the way, dBrand is famous for that. They often give you more than one of the thing in case you screw up the first time. They give you another shot, which for old guys like me can be quite handy. I can smell the alcohol. Okay, I think I got everything. Now we get out the microfiber cleaning cloth, which is in one of these little bags that's hard to open. None of this stuff is made for all guys. So what's the next step? Attach the installer tray, which would be this thing. Orientation does not matter. Gently hold the tray with one hand and remove the pull tab sticking out over here. Then immediately swipe along the dotted line. So I pulled that out. Immediately swipe here. Ah, now we know what the squeegee's for. Because when we pull this off from the other side, it says, oh, there's bubbles. Yep. It says, don't panic, use the squeegee. I don't know if this is picking up on camera, but you could actually see the bubbles. They were big, but that did it. I think the Prism 2.0 is like the second tier when I put the prices up here. And then the Ultra adds something else. Or maybe the Ultra adds it. It'll be here. So now let's get into this guy. Well, there's a very little helpful note inside the box. Don't screw this up. Now here's the actual case. These are little covers for the joysticks. I've seen reviews. Some people like these, some people don't like these. I don't have any problem with these, and I play it off so seldom, but they will protect it, so I'll probably put them on. Now this is an interesting piece. This is a cover for the flip stand, so you can protect it. And then here's a docking thing. Okay, the first thing you can do is this just wraps around and snaps, see, so that you can take the lid off. By the way, the lid has 10 slots for game cartridges. So when you're traveling, you can put 10 game cartridges in here, put this on, and you're good to go. So this is the cover for the, and it says dBrand this way, so I'm thinking that means, yes, it goes on this way because here, this is where the, so you slide that in there. Ah, see, and here are these two little, this is what some of that extra adhesive is for. There's 2 little tabs here for the adhesive, which now there's a little adhesive under here. And see, there's cutouts so you can still get to everything. You can get to your card slot here. The pairing button for the Joy-Cons, or there's a pairing button on here for, I think, pairing the Joy-Cons. It's recessed enough where you're probably gonna need something to poke in there. I don't know if it shows up on camera, but it's etched very faintly in like silver, so it reflects. It's hard to see. Product of Canada. Oh, product of Canada. That's why Linus Tech Tips is always going on about dBrand. So now we have this, which is going to go here, and it's again got adhesive. There we go, and now my little flip stand is protected. I'm not going to put these on yet for reasons I'll explain shortly. That's what's in this other box. I guess it's technically not an upgrade. It fixes a problem that it had. But there's a little lip along this edge. Well, I go ahead and put one of them on and just show you what the problem is. But you put it at the bottom, and then you lift this up over the top, and then you pop in your Joy-Con. Great. And this is how it originally shipped. One problem. If you try to hold the switch by this one Joy-Con, apparently it will pop off. And there's lots of videos on YouTube, people complaining. There were Reddit threads. You can kind of see a gap. Well, I'm not going to force it. I'm not going to break it off. But apparently, if you held it by just one Joy-Con, well, you can see it. You can see the Joy-Con bending. Let's open this other box. Before I do that, By the way, this case only adds 1 millimeter to the thickness of the Switch 2. But that's enough that it will not fit in the dock. So what they did, they made an insert. It has the little connector on the bottom there, which is where the Switch normally docks to, and instead it routes it around to here and gives a lot more air. So when your Switch is in the dock, it can get hot. There's a little cooling system in the dock to keep the Switch from getting too hot. I mean, the cooling system is here. The fans blow out the bottom. But see, now they blow out the bottom through this, and there's even more room for the air to get out, so your Switch will actually run cooler in here, which is great. But the problem people were having with this was when you go to pull the Switch out, the whole dock insert comes out. So you can't take it out one-handed. That's a problem. Now, if you just hold this, it'll pop right out. So that's what's in this box. So the first thing on top here was and you get 2 of these. By the way, you need 1 of these little things with the 4 circles and the big thing in the bottom. This is going to go on the bottom of the Switch here. They give you 4 of them, so I guess they expect you to screw this one up. When docking your Switch to a misalignment could cause the USB-C plug to contact the plastic around your console's charging port. Slight chance of cosmetic marks. They used a whole giant sheet of this for these 2 little tiny things. It says leave the case on. So now when you're docking it, if you don't line it up right, you won't scratch the plastic down here. Instead, you've got this little cover on it. Then we have this problem where it lifts up the whole thing. That's what these little dock adapter friction pads are for. There's 2 little pads in here. There they are. And these go here and here. Yeah, just that little tiny bit of rubber, and there's 2 little ridges sticking out. And just that's enough so that now when you dock this thing, I can do it with one hand by using these fingers to press against the dock, which you couldn't do before the little sticky things were there because the whole thing would come up. I can see why you want this little protection pad because I'm having trouble lining this up. There you go. So yeah, you can't just pick it up. You have to press and pull, but it works. And now we'll get to the new JoyCon covers. So like before, you put the bottom in first. Now, I don't know if you know it. It was hard to get this part up over. It was a little harder with this one than it was with the other one. But now it's got a good grip. It still bends slightly, but it's not going to pop off. If you just have the raw Joy-Con on there, I don't know if you notice, you can see a slight bend. Now, I don't know if you notice these. The Joy-Cons are just flat on the back. And when you're holding the Switch in your hand, you don't have any real purchase on it. Whereas this is a rubberized, kind of rough. I mean, it's got a texture to it. And it's got grippy things here on the side. So if you are the kind of person who plays remotely, takes your Switch out on the road. Yeah, so you have to pull it up over there to get it to lie down flat. And now, do you know what this feels like? It feels like an ROG Ally or a Steam Deck because it's got the grips. It's got the rougher surface because the backs of the Joy-Cons are relatively smooth. This is a little rougher. It's a lot easier to grip. And then you can just drop it into the dock. And then you pull this around. And I'm ready to travel. My old Switch I took on the road every now and then. Switch 2 I have not. I went to Texas, but I didn't take it with me because it was Mario Kart World and Cyberpunk. And yeah, There were no games. Which, by the way, if you see my review, I can't link it. I already have one up there. If you look down there, you'll see my review. I think there's an unboxing video and or a review, or it's all in one video. I don't remember. And I said in that video, don't buy it unless you need a Switch 2 game, because if you have a Switch that's working, it'll keep working. I did not need this. Even Trails in the Sky doesn't need the Switch 2. It's a Switch game because they've been working on it for years. So now I can play it handheld. So now there's a chance I'll actually take this with me. I will be getting Trails in the Sky for the PS5 because I've played all the other Trails games on the PS4, PS3, PS5, and I have all my trophies. I need my trophies. I've platinumed almost every Trails game. I mentioned that in one of those videos. So I need to do it on the PS5, but I might buy a second copy. The screen is protected now, so even though it's exposed, it's not going to get scratched because I've got the Prism 2.0 on it. So all in all, I would have been so annoyed if I had bought this and installed it and then had all those problems and picking it up and doing all that. And there's lots of videos you can go watch about people whining about that. But to dBrand's credit, they sent me an email and said, hey, we've discovered there's some problems, and so we are going to send you this kit free of charge with the new JoyCon covers and the little friction pads and the little cover thing for the bottom. Oops, I forgot to put on the joystick covers, which were in this little thing. So apparently they just kind of stretch over. I see what people are talking about. These are very smooth on top. These are rough. I mean, they've got it's like a little bit of sandpaper. I mean, not sandpaper rough, but you know what I mean. It's rough. Of course, that means if you're getting all sweaty while you're gaming, I guess your fingers will stick better. I can see both points of view. I can see people that think it's a little rough. And I can also see people that think, well, the other thing's too smooth. So if only there was a Goldilocks version, which was in between. Because I think this is a little rough, but without it, it's a little too smooth. So I need something that's just right. I bet somebody has one. But again, I don't play this way often enough, handheld. But man, those grips feel good. So that's it for today. Next week, it'll be the Elgato Facecam 4K, which does 4K 60 webcam. So that'll be next week. The week after next, of course, will be Apple's iPhone announcements, because that'll be my next video will be a week from today. So 2 days after the Facecam video, there will be the Apple announcement, and then I'll have several days to put together a video hitting all the high points and low points and everything and telling you which one I ordered. Because while the announcement's September 2nd, I don't think you can order them until that Friday. So, but I'll shoot the video on Friday so I can tell you which one I ordered. It may be the orange one because I did go to the University of Texas. And it is a new color, and you know how I like to get new colors, so everybody will know I have the new phone. I know, orange. But again, Texas, I have a lot of orange clothing. We'll see. So that's it for the dBrand KillSwitch. Thanks for stopping by. See you next time. Bye-bye. I'm going to go start working on the Elgato Facecam video. Thanks for staying to the end. Bye-bye.